Welcome back, everyone. Humanities North Dakota is bringing a New York Times best-selling author, mortician, YouTuber, and an advocate for the death-positive movement, Caitlin Doughty, to Fargo this month, and Dr. Cooley is with me this morning to talk about the event. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you're the MC of the event?
I am the MC. I'm also the chair of Humanities North Dakota's Board of Directors.
Oh, perfect.
I'm really happy to be bringing her in to have one of our Brave Conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us more about the event.
Well, Brave Conversations, I'll say something about that first, is we as a society don't really get into difficult subject areas, and if we do, most people want to shy away from them. And so we've talked about race. This one is on death and attitudes towards death. So Caitlin is coming in to talk about the need to change our Western viewpoints of how death works. And so she does this in a variety of ways by actually appealing to what makes us human in the first place. So all of humanity shares certain values in common. And we're talking about death, we're usually talking about dignity, about respect, and about caring for the deceased and the survivors. And so, but we do it in a lot of different ways. So the way in the U.S. is we want it very antiseptic. We don't want to be involved with it. We don't want anything to even see the corpse a lot of the times. Other societies, that is part of their process of dealing with the death and the loss. So the Wari tribe, for example, in the Amazon, they're what's called mortuary cannibals. So they actually eat the deceased. But you would say that doesn't show any respect. It shows huge respect given their values and so on. I don't know if she'll talk about that. I know we're at 7 o'clock, so most people will have already eaten, so you won't have any problems with that.
Yeah, right.
So,
Well, that's very interesting, and I think it's very interesting just to dive into the different cultures, how they respect the dead, and how different ceremonies go for the dead, because there are just lots of different ceremonies. So what inspired this event?
Well, it is part of our Brave Conversation series. And we look for the big conversations that need to be had, but aren't really being had. So as I said, I mentioned race. We have this one on death, and other Brave Conversations involve other big subject areas, such as banning books. There are issues that, of course, are in legislatures right now.
Sure.
And so it's controversial, but the thing that we want to do is have people actually talk.
Yeah.
So our speaker comes in, she will present, and we have conversations at the tables, and this is at the Avalon Event Center. And so there are a number of conversations, and then we have reports out so that people can hear what other folks in the community think about this.
Yeah.
Which is important because that shows our shared values, shows our joint decision making.
Yeah, absolutely. And just getting everyone's perspectives on it, like an open conversation.
Right.
So that's great. Let's get more into the author that's coming, Caitlin Doughty. So why did you choose her?
Well, don't know if you've seen her on YouTube, but not only does she write really well, and I wish I could write as well as she does, and I've got some writings, but she also speaks very well too. So we want some people who are engaging and who know what they're talking about, so that when people hear them, if they haven't read the book, they want to read the book.
Yeah.
And if they've read the book, they want to hear the person give a talk. And if you have those together, we learn in lots of different ways. So if you bring all of those together, it's a much better experience of education. And we are for Humanities North Dakota is all about lifelong education.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like she has extensive experience and background in the topic of death.
Yep.
So what is a mortician YouTuber?
Well, she's on YouTube. She owns her own crematory. She's a mortician. She's from California. And the book, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons Learned in the Crematory, is her life experiences starting off and all the way up through. And then there's another book that I've just gotten to read, but this one is the one that we're talking about at this Game Changers. So she talks about things that are really sensitive sometimes.
Yeah.
For example, the one that bothered me the most, but this happens, is that when infants die or there are stillbirths. And then she talks about how she dealt with them, and it's amazing how much respect and dignity and care she and really good people in this field display towards these individuals, these infants. And so it's hard, but you see it at the same time, you think, okay, I'm starting to understand better why we need to think a little bit more about this, especially since all of us are going to die. And it's a good idea for us to understand how that works, understand how it works for our loved ones, so that we can process it in a way that's healthy, positive.
Yeah,
It's not going to be
absolutely.
great. I'm not going to say that, but it's at least going to be more manageable.
Yeah, right. And a positive outlook on it, just better. So you did bring the book, and we kind of got into it a little bit. Do you want to read a little snippet of the back, or do you have one bookmarked? Perfect.
Well, I think this captures what she says beautifully, and also shows how much better writer she is than I am. In fact, it doesn't need anything anymore. It's more than happy to lie there and rot away. She's talking about the deceased. It is you who needs the corpse. Looking at the body, you understand the person is gone, no longer an active player in the game of life. Looking at the body, you see yourself, and you know that you, too, will die. The visual is a call to self-awareness. It is the beginning of wisdom. And we lost that. It used to be the U.S. We took care of our dead ourselves. They were family members, that you did all of the different things you need to do, showing care, respect, dignity for your loved ones. But we've gotten away from that now, and it's sterilized, and we're not getting the benefit of understanding how our lives work. We will die. And so what you should be doing now is making sure your life is worth living. That is, you are maximizing the value that you're getting out of it, instead of worrying about something that really is inevitable.
Right.
And that will be managed well, so that you could end with an ending that is dignified.
Absolutely. Well, that was beautifully said, and you've been dogging on your writing, and so you're a great speaker too.
Thank you.
All right, so what are the details of the event, and where can people find more information?
More information, you can look at humanitiesnd.org online. If you, it's 2 weeks from today. It'll be on the 20th at the Avalon Events Center. I advise people to sign up soon, because a week from today, it goes from pay what you want to $50 a ticket.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a good idea. Hit it early. And
Yeah.
we do have about 250 people signed up for a 350-person event, so
Okay.
they're going fast. And just come ready to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, coming up on today's show, investing your money doesn't have to be scary. We'll tell you the first step after the break.